Something the matter? There's no story. None that you're entitled to hear, anyway. Just forget you ever saw it. Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think? Thank you. I'm sure we'll get along perfectly well.
Shadow Heart. Shadow Heart. I'm sure her parents meant well, but the name's a little ominous, isn't it? Unless she chose it herself. Which is even more worrying, honestly.
Mark my word, the half-elf's an abyss of lies and secrets. Shadowheart indeed. Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. Each creche contains a Zaithisk purification device. So I learned from the writings in the Kalir library. The library was a gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant order turns to chaos and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
Tiring business, isn't it? All this traveling and adventuring. Why don't we take a little break, Allow ourselves a few moments of rest? Gives me a chance to talk to you about something, well, rather important. We've been on the road together for a while now, haven't we? Survived some perils, overcame some obstacles. Ever since you were kind enough to free me from that stone, I've seen you demonstrate remarkable guile and courage. The way you diffused the tension between Zevlor and Aradin. The way you got Korga to release the girl. In short, I've grown to trust you. The reason I make a point of saying this is that I've grown confident enough to tell you something I've yet to tell another living soul, except for my cat. You see, I have this condition. Very different from the parasite we share, but just as deadly. The specifics are rather personal, but suffice it to say that it is a malady I've learned to live with, though not without some effort. What it comes down to is this. Every so often, I need to get my hands on a powerful magical item and absorb the weave inside. I can say no more on the matter. Not now, anyway. Just trust me when I say it's all of vital importance. It's been days since I last consumed an artifact, since before we were abducted. It's only a matter of time before my craving returns. That is why I turn to you. I need you to help me find magic items to consume. It is vital. Dare I say it? Critical. We've already done the finding. In fact, you have one in your possession. You know for yourself how hard won such an item was, and it will be no easier when even more are required to assuage my hunger. There'll be danger involved, or great cost. Splendid. Bit of boldness will serve us well. I'm sure we won't have to look very far to find what I need. Faeruin overflows with magic-infused treasure. As do our packs, as a matter of fact. We've such an item already in our possession. Primed for the moment the need arises. I hope I can count on you. Beneath her forbidding countenance, I sense this cleric will prove quite the companion. A wise decision to let her join us. Your enterprising approach to my problem is most encouraging. But it is a delicate process to keep my condition stable. I do not yet need to consume an item, but keep it close by. It will not be too much longer.
Is someone singing?
Oh, it's beautiful.
Such a pretty song. Please. Shh. Listen.
Your favorite drownings all take place in shallow water. Just a slice of the ankle tendons.
Don't you hear it? It's so peaceful. No, it's just a bit of water. I only want to listen. Just a little closer. Yes, everything's gonna be fine once I get there.
But I see you now for what you are.
Head, Harpy. Another day, another fight.
survival isn't such a distant prospect.
Are they gone? No. Yes. I mean, I don't know. That's what the voice said. I almost got to the nest, but the singing... I need to get back. Mole will be so mad. Wait, you should meet Mole. She'll be grateful you helped me. Find a boy called Donny. Tell him you want to see the dragon's lair.
That scamp reminds me of myself when I was a nipper. Always getting into trouble. Comes with the territory. One time, my parents denied me a kitten, so I summoned myself a Tressim. Ah, dear old Tara. Beautiful creature. Benefits of a wizard's education, you see. Of course, my considerable talent didn't hurt either. Well, that depends on who you ask, I suppose. I may have summoned things rather more exotic than a winged cat. There was that magma mephit once. Nice fellow, we kept in touch. Of course, in walked the housekeeper, screaming, yelling, panic, and before you know it, fire everywhere. Anyway, I'm glad we got that boy out of his predicament. Poor lad would have been harpy feed if it wasn't for you.
Just a moment. This man is recording my story. I am far from home.
As the colourful man starts scribbling, the bear sneaks a quick look at the page. His brow furrows. Incomprehensible squiggles surround a crude sketch. A bear disemboweling a clutch of tieflings.
Do my eyes deceive me? A drow! Here! Forgive my surprise. It's rare to find your kind above ground. Rare and intriguing on a day already packed with intrigue. You were at the gates just now, no? When the goblins came? You saw them up close? A few questions, if you please. There's no overstating my interest. Glory. Now then, how would you describe that particular batch of goblins? Size, nature, distinguishing qualities?
You search your mind, successfully recalling various details of goblin behavior.
My, a scholar after my own heart. Spent much time among goblins? Shocking little creatures, aren't they? Still, there's quite a bit more to them than most accounts allow. I myself plan to record the world's most extensive catalogue of their means and habits. A blue ocean of information, I dare say. Now, I've a few more questions, if you don't mind. And the dragon they had marching in the rear, was it of the brass or silver variety? Witnesses failed to notice the obvious dragon. Last question, then you'll be quite free. Did the attackers rally to the absolute when they fell upon the gates? They did, didn't they? Oh, curious. Oh, curious indeed. I've interrogated one, a captive in this very camp. She reports they've abandoned their god Maglabiet in favor of someone called the Absolute. The scandal! Ah, but is superstition all? These goblins are informed by a kind of strategy anathema to their kind. I, for one, intend to get to the bottom of it. I'm just preparing to head to their camp as we speak, in fact. If you'll excuse me, I ought not to door roll.
Oh, never you mind. Who needs mercy when you've a quick tongue, hmm? And an invisibility potion stashed in your back pocket.
Until we meet again.
I thought you were housing.
The boar prances around, haunches clenching and unclenching impatiently.
Where's housing? Promise me a mate.
I'm sleeping. Okay.
Get out!
The squirrel lunges at your foot and bites it.
You barged in without an invitation. I wouldn't call that friendly. See, you're in my territory, and I want you gone. How about this? You can stay if you keep those ugly feet on the ground. I'll even sweeten the pot. Found some weird smelling stuff on the ground. You can keep it, but these trees are mine. Follow the rules and I won't have to intervene. Got it?
Something over there. Don't fancy getting my hands dirty. I need a shovel.
On the way.
Be wary of false promises. The missing druid, Halsin, was it? He may be talented, but only a Githyanki Zathis can cleanse an embedded tadpole.
Peer through the telescope. You see a dragon circling like a bird of prey, hunting.
So, you know about these parasites. Will we survive them?
Only if my... The only other cure is the blood. I am fury. I am death. What now? What's the plan? They let me strike true.
No gloom, all doom. May it please, Mistra.
Eat this!
Victory awaits. Tazif.
Well, so much for peace.
Can't afford to let up.
Let me recite their demise. My turn.
Let's play.
Bodies everywhere. Accident or sabotage?
So, Gith. Time to pack it in for the day, I think.
My name is Lae'zel Choki,
Nothing we need to worry about.
and my kin will understand my need for servants.
I'll give it a bloody
They
good
will
fight,
help
that's
you,
for sure.
but only if I ask.
Anything you give. That's E's friend. You're welcome to rest here.
Who's there? Please, keep your distance. You're welcome to shelter here, but we've grave injuries to tend to. A devil, the most deadly foe we've yet encountered. We are paladins of Tyr, Lord of Justice. He sent us after an infernal being, straight out of the Nine Hells, hiding in the form of a one-horned tiefling. She slaughtered countless refugees fleeing the Absolute. Yesterday, she butchered an entire family without mercy. We were lucky to survive our encounter with her.
This could be the work of a devil, but they collect souls through cunning, not carnage.
I understand. But if you see the fiend, be on your guard. She's dangerous.
Me? Never been better.
Oh, fuck me. It's you, from the Nautiloid. Please tell me I found you before those so-called paladins of Tyr did. Now that's a story, and I'll tell it to you, but truth be told, we shouldn't stay here too long. See, these paladins of...
A great heat roars through you. Her heat, fiery as the hells. Then you're lost in visions of demonic armies as you tear through a landscape of fire and blood. The Blood War. You saw it from above as the Nautiloid passed through Avernus. This woman was on the front line.
What was that? Fuck's sake. Mountains as far as the eye can see. Guess that explains the voices. From that peek I got into your head, you've made some inroads trying to get the thing sorted. But alas, no joy. I'm Karlach. And you are... Well met, soldier. Now that we're old pals, how would you feel about helping me kill some evil bastards? A little background, if your moral compass needs something to point at. You already know I fought in the Blood War. I was good at killing demons. Really good. So good, Zariel, the archdevil herself, made me her personal attack dog. I played along until I could get the fuck out of there. Took me 10 years to properly escape, but now I'm free. Zariel sent goon after goon to hunt me down. But believe me when I tell you, I'm not going. The latest yappy little dogs she sicked on me are nearby. A group of dopes posing as paladins of Tyr. Want to help me take them down? Fuck yes. They cornered me outside the toll house just up the hill. Doubt they've gone far after the scorching I gave them. After we've mopped them up, we can work on evicting this parasite and take Faeruin by the short hairs. Sound good?
You want to just team up with some blood-stained killer? Because I'm fine with that.
I'd hug you if it wouldn't scorch your skin off. Whew, I'm getting all het up. Let's make tracks.
funny. You haven't got some laughing curse, have you?
I really made it out of Avernus. It's incredible.
All right, just keep it down. We're conspicuous enough without your hyena call.
Karlach. There you are.
Greetings, motherfucker. Ready to die?
That's right, Karlach. So now is in the hells. I could see why her ladyship wants a murderous brute like you back.
Her ladyship. Zariel really has you under her thumb, doesn't she? Pathetic.
Rage all you want, Karlach. Burn with the might of the hells. Zariel will find you, and she will bring you back in pieces. Then again, maybe she'll just leave you here, far from home, with an infernal engine for a heart, slowly burning you to ash from the inside.
Avernus was never my home. It was my prison. I'm free now, and I'm never going back!
Got to move. Let's do this.
This is gonna feel good. Aye, aye. Infipio! My turn. No surrender. Still in control. Just. Fuck them. Fuck Zariel. I won't go back. I'm never going back. And if any of Mummy's little friends want to pick up where the others left off, they'll find nothing but a pile of ash. Not big enough. Now get out before you get hurt. Now! Better than nothing.
Time to see what new horror's waiting for us.
That'll do it. Whew. Had to let off a little steam after facing off with those ignots. Granted, the fire's lasting a little longer than it should. How do I look? Careful, soldier. If I burn any hotter, I might explode. Hear that? Infernal engine for a heart. Lets me burn as hot as the hells. Seems to be running in overdrive since I left Avernus. Won't be seeing my mechanic anytime soon, so I'll just make the most of the extra heat. Just don't get too close, till I've found a way to calm it down. High pain tolerance, and a dynamic duo of truly shitty bosses. But it's a bit early in the game to be getting into tragic backstories. Let's save the Scar show for later, after we've worked up an appetite for tragedy. Meanwhile, I'll need to find someone who can tune up my engine sooner rather than later. Believe me when I say this thing is hot. The first time I faced down those paladins, they let slip there was an infernal mechanic in the area. A tiefling. He might be able to stabilize things, if I can find him. Sounds like a good lead. Hopefully our guy will be among them. A tune-up would do this old tub a world of good.
Do you think your kin search for you, Lae'zel?
I know they do not. It is my responsibility to cleanse myself.
They pursued the Nautiloid. Perhaps they were trying to free you.
A vain notion. I am one of many, and will not... These tieflings prove fragile. I've a mind to end their misery myself.
Calm yourself. They're survivors, not soldiers.
I fail to see the distinction.
That's curious.
Make one up.
The road to Baldur's Gate looks a little less daunting now that we're all back together.
Oh! Hey! You're one of those drow, right? I heard stories about you. How you all live underground and steal kids away. I don't know. You don't look that scary. Here, want to see a trick? Go on. Take this ring. It's lucky. Call it. Heads or tails. Heads it is. See? That's the kind of luck you get from one of my lucky rings. I've got more where that came from. Real cheap, too. Interested? Hey, not so loud. You caught me. All right. They're not lucky rings. I'm just trying to earn money for my family. My father left and my mother, she's so sick. I wish I had better things to sell than trinkets, but it's all I have. I don't know what you mean. hurts. I'm running an honest... okay, what's a tinker's trash? Uh-huh. Huh. Interesting. And I promise, this isn't a tinker's trash scam. I knew it. Hang on. That's what I got. Nothing caught your eye, huh? Not sure what you expected. I'm a kid living in the back of a cave. Anyway, see you again sometime. Take care. Safe travels.
You spot the boy giving a sly wink as he turns away.
Oh, I don't have any money or anything to sell. My partner does that. What? I'm the guard. So don't steal anything. I'm watching you.
You ain't gonna shoot me. Your hands are shaking.
Put it down. She can't fight back.
That's the point. Get out of the way!
She didn't kill your brother, Arca. You're better than this.
Your mind wanders. If the crossbow bolt shot through her mouth, would she taste the metal before she died?
Shoot before you lose your nerve, tiefling. If you ever had it to begin with.
I didn't ask for you to say a damn thing! Keep out of it!
Looks like the Absolute sent me a protector. You gonna kill her too?
You, move! What in every hell is wrong with you? Damn you. Damn it! Why do you care if a goblin lives or dies?
Your soft heart will be the death of us.
Not sure I get that. The bars don't make her special. But fine. Whatever.
It's all right, Arca. Let's go.
Believe it or not, but I witnessed a similar standoff back at the Yawning Portal. Of course, an establishment like that invites all sorts of outlandish entertainments. An inn in Waterdeep. Ooh, never a dull moment there. Adventurers come from all over Faeruin to try their luck down the well. Leads into the Undermountain, you see. Full of death, danger, and vast amounts of treasure. Hard to resist. Oh, a drow, a dragonborn, and a cleric of Cyric walk into a bar. Your standard fare. Maybe someone was cheating at cards. Maybe it was some weird lover's quarrel. In any case, out came the crossbow, and a hush fell over the entire room. I stood up and yelled, "Shadow Dark Ale for everyone!" The crowd cheered. attention drained into 6 tankards, and soon all was well again. In a place like the Yawning Portal, the most powerful magic is calling for a round of drinks. Mind you, all I did was call for ale, but you went and stood in front of that crossbow. Well, I'd drink to that.
Didn't expect to see a drow in here. Did the boss lady send you to rescue me? Yeah. Take me back to the tribe, and we'll tell the boss all about this pretty little place, so she can burn it to the ground. We'll be heroes, blessed by Priestess Gut, in the name of the Absolute. You won't regret it, promise. Any luck opening this cage? I've been patient, so hurry up, yeah?
Right tool will do the trick.
Boring! Even your cages are boring! Ready to go meet my tribe? Just say the word. Happily. Lead the way.
Your rescue attempt has been noticed. Choose your next move carefully. You are persuasive enough. You and the goblin are free to go. Your rescue attempt has been noticed. Choose your next move carefully. You are persuasive enough. Your rescue attempt has been noticed. Choose your next move carefully. You are persuasive enough. You and the goblin are free to go.
Punish someone who wronged you.
Wrong me how?
Oh, so...
Thought I was never gonna get out of there. Good to be free again, gotta say. Never break a promise, unless there's something in it for me. I'll introduce you to my whole tribe and put in a good word for you. See you at the camp.
Your sour face is tiring, Shadowheart. By all means leave if I am so distasteful.
I'd rather not turn my back on you, if it's all the same.
Hey, The year, 10 air. The place, sleepy little town called Baldur's Gate. Our hero, Karlach, a knock-kneed delinquent from the outer city with everything to give and nothing to lose. I was a kid looking for a way to fill my days and make some cash when I fell into the wrong crowd. Worked for a guy I respected. A lot. Turns out the feeling wasn't mutual. Through the jigs and the reels, he made a deal with Zariel behind my back. You know Zariel, right? Archdevil of Avernus. She put this thing in my chest and set me to work. Well, to war. I learned quick how to stay alive. And the engine served me when it came to killing devils. 10 years of that. The stories I could tell. I'll mete out the best ones, bit by bit, so you always have a reason to keep me around. Clever, right? Guy named Gore, politician, inventor. One of these wheeler-dealer types who seems to have a finger in every pie. I guess I was naive to think everything he got up to was above board. What did I know? I saw a job, a good job, with people I liked, doing work I was good at. Sometimes I'm jealous of that girl. Ugh, to feel so invincible again. Gives me energy, power. But you've seen it in action. Very hard to control. If I'm excited at all, angry, nervous, delighted, enticed, I burn hot. Hot enough to burn anyone who gets close. I try not to think about it. I still think about it constantly, but, you know, I try. One of these days, I'll sort the whole infernal affair out, get myself cooled off, start making up for lost time. But not today.
Thought I sensed an infernal around here. But you aren't from Elturel. What's your story?
I spent a good bit of time in the Hells. Enlisted against my will by the Archdevil Zariel. Same as you, I suppose, if you're from Elturel. The devils were delighted when your city was swallowed up. I thought they had you for keeps. Glad you got out.
I got lucky. It looks like you did too. And you brought some infernal machinery with you.
A little gift from Zariel. Keeps me burning hot.
Very hot by the smell of it. Might be burning out a piston ring or leaking oil. Mind if I take a listen?
Be my guest. But don't get too close or your eyes will melt shut.
Phew! You really are burning up. Whoever put that engine together tried to house metallurgized demono valves inside a Ragnak's alloy casement. Very risky. I might be able to help. I'd need infernal iron. And a prayer that my hammer will survive the work. That thing isn't meant to operate outside of Vernus. I'm not sure how much longer it'll keep running the way it's going.
Will you be able to turn down the temperature a little? Worried I'm gonna go in for a handshake and singe someone's arm off one of these days.
I'd worry about surviving the night first. But help one, help both. If we can cool you off, it'll stabilize your engine and allow you to touch whomever you please. I've sensed some during our travels. It has a pull to it. Absolutely magnetic, once you know what you're looking for. I can show you where I'd look. Meanwhile, I've still got plenty of weapons and armor in stock if you're looking to load up. Forged from the heart.
I was taking what I wouldn't do for better tools.
I just use the target practice.
Why, hello there, sweetness.
Die if I met
Ah, if it isn't the talk of the camp. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh. You're twitching something fierce, love. And your eyes. You look like you don't know the meaning of the word sleep. Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore. Oh, there's nothing like a pain in the noggin to addle you. You need to look after that head of yours. Aha! You take a sup of that and you'll feel right as rain, sweetie.
As you down the potion, a comforting warmth spreads through you.
I swear you're still as peaky looking. Then let old Auntie Ethel have a look at you. First things first. Tell me what's at you. Oh, Petal, that's how it starts, you know. Thinking is only a step away from doing. Were you hurt recently? An accident of some sorts? That could explain things. It's all right. All you need is a bit of loving care, don't you think? If I was back in my tea house, I'd make you a cuppa and tell you to put your feet up. Alas, here I can only tell you to be kind to yourself, Petal. And encourage you to browse my bits and pieces, of course. Let me know if anything catches your eye. Myself included. Sure. What else am I here for? Bye now, Petal.
Children! Look who's here.
What can I do you for? Let's hope Damon is as good as he seems. Once my engine's handled, I can focus on more important matters. Tadpoles, cults, frosty pints. I don't think so. At least, I still remember everything. In more detail than I wish. But, as for what's going on in your mind, and maybe in mine, I'm certain there are answers out there. We'll find them together. Well, look. You've said it, right out loud. That takes guts. The guts you'll need to change. Or at least make sure you're channeled in the right direction. I've got enough enemies who could do with a good bloodletting, you know? Depends on the type. Ice devils hate an inferno, but that's an easy one. Orthons love projectiles. What they don't love is getting their bombs lobbed right back in their faces. Demons, on the other hand, every demon is absolutely singular. You can't ever think you've got them typed out. Sharp instincts, sharp weapons, and a knack for improvisation. That's the only way to survive them. Anyway, what were we talking about? Funny you should ask. I was just thinking about what would have become of us without that nautiloid. I mean, I know where I'd be. Trapped in Avernus still, with the Blade of Frontiers on my tail. But what about you? Oh, man. Lucky you. That's the dream. Maybe when this is all done, you can show me where you came from. My family home's long gone, but I'll show you my favorite chow hall in the city, if it's still standing. What can I do you for? It wasn't all that long ago. I never knew the whole of how and why, but I remember the devils slavering with delight. I should have looked after the Elterans more. Gone out of my way to make sure they were all right. The long and short of it was, I didn't want to risk my neck. I let them get on with the nightmare, same as I had to. But Avernus is no place for decent folk. I'm glad they got out. So glad.
Karlach's temper is a sight to behold. She'll need to be careful. That rage will burn her right out. Something the matter? If you're sure. Fine. I'll be here whenever you rediscover your taste in company.
Isn't it glorious? Karlach's fury is a wonder to behold. Chook, you believe you can survive without me? As you say, do not keep me waiting.
The Blade of Frontiers. Thought I'd shaken you for good after the Mind Flare ship. But you just can't get enough of me, can you?
Karlach, Advocatus Diaboli, the stink of Avernus. The Devil's Head, and yours. If you so much as...
A great fire roars through you. The fire of the first hell. You are the Blade of Frontiers, racing through the wastes of Avernus. Just ahead, a diabolical figure, red skin, single-curled horn, blazes with flame, bloodied great axe held high. He chases the fiend, ignited with rancor. She is an infernal war devil, a threat to the living. Evil incarnate.
Your ally's a fraud. A soldier in the Archdevil Zariel's army. Either I cut her down, or she burns the Sword Coast to ash.
I've tried to tell you. I am not what you think I am. I'm...
Another vision. Karlach's blade raised, slicing through devils, Zariel's servants, as her eyes dart around, seeking escape. The man shudders with Karlach's desperation. She is a victim of the Blood War, not an agent of it.
By Baldrin's helm, No! I will not be tricked!
You saw the truth. I may be an effective soldier, but I never wanted to serve Zariel. Legged it away from her the first chance I got.
And yet you served.
The man catches his breath and his lips straighten. Sheer dread twists his face.
No! Devils cannot be trusted!
Would you listen to sense? This doesn't have to end badly. For either of us. You know monsters, right? Better than anyone. Look into my eyes. Can't you see I'm not what you think?
Shit. You really are no devil, are you? I've been deceived.
Thank the gods. Thought I was gonna have to take your head.
You would have died in the attempt. But there have been enough threats today. Truce?
I'll do you one better. Allies. We're looking to get rid of these parasites for good. And ruin some bastards' days while we're at it. Sounds like your kind of venture.
I've not grown any tentacles yet, thank Baldrin. But luck won't be on our side forever. Yes, you have my blade. Your leader willing, of course.
Well, soldier, what's the word? Hey!
Well met. And 1,000 sorries. I've pledged my life to protecting the meek from monsters. But tonight, I was the rampaging beast. I see the good in you, Karlach. I promise not to lose sight of it, even when the hells burn hottest.
The famous Blade of Frontiers in the flesh. Clever, this hero act you've got going.
Hero, blade, names strangers gave me. My friends call me Wyll.
Excellent. If we ever become friends, I'll know what to call you.
You've been witness to a pantomime, I'm sorry to say. And I've played my part all too poorly. It means that a reckoning's coming. And I'll be the one to pay up. One night soon, when we make camp, the veil will be lifted, and I'll pay my penance. You're not in any danger, I promise. I can't say the same about me. The Blade of Frontiers at your calling. Anger. I understand. We've been preyed on by Illithids, suffered insertion of a mind-bending worm. Bloodthirst is another matter. But perhaps not too big of one, if it's a devil or demon's flesh you're wanting to tear. Seems unusual to me. Then again, we're talking about tadpoles inserted into our brains by rubber-skinned tentacle monsters. There's nothing usual about it. All the more reason to stick close. I think you'll agree. A most vicious one, in fact. It's made from pure bloodstone, carved from the Galena Mountains just north of the Moonsea. A reminder that sometimes blood must be shed and sacrifices must be made. But that story is reserved for lifetime friends and calmer days.
Tiny grooves spider across the eye's surface. It resembles a sending stone used to confer with distant contacts.
A sending stone? Nothing so special, I assure you.
You watch and listen for signs of deceit, but sense nothing unusual.
My father once said, one does not pursue a champion's life. One merely answers its call. So it was for me. I was hunting near the Cloakwood when I heard it. A child crying out from a lone farmstead. I found him in the fields, flanked by goblins. His mother's corpse bled into the soil next to him. I don't remember much of the battle, but I remember drying the boy's tears after. No, but he named me friend, and that meant the world. But what of the others? The children never saved, the cries never heard. In the boy's tears, I finally saw the suffering wrought by the villains of the wild. The frontiers demanded a blade, and so I heeded. Baldur's Gate, born and raised, the only son of a single father. He wanted one life for me. I chose another. We haven't spoken since I left the city. A classic drama. A staunch father and his rebellious son. Better heard from the bard's lips than mine. I've come to know a fair few village clerics, but none with the skill to pull these worms from our heads. From what I understand, there's a healer called Nettie in the Grove. Perhaps she's got the talent. Otherwise, I'd bet my last coin that the Open Hand Temple in Baldur's Gate could help. Though a fat lot of good that does to us now. Are you sure? The blade stands at the ready. And just when things were warming up.
Glad Wyll saw sense. Even more glad he decided to stick around. Takes a pretty slick mover to track down old Karlach. same. Now, instead of a liability, I've got a friend. Or I will have Sue, anyway.
Was a time I tussled with hill giants without breaking a sweat. Now, a mere werebear could swat me halfway to arm. Strange things are happening to us. What festers in our minds may well impel our bodies.
Goblin tracks. Oh, you can practically smell the filth. Ever heard of a vampire called Baldur? Well,
Doesn't ring a bell. Why? He's patriarch of the Tsar family. Nasty fellow, if the histories are accurate.
I imagine they are.
People up ahead. Something's wrong.
He's so pale.
Battle favors the fearless.
What should I do?
Time to strike.
Strange power resonates within the corpse. It calls to you. Most corpses feel like toys before you, to be played with and discarded when you tire. This body seems different. A friend calls out from the corpse, desperate to be freed. Why let its host's memories go to waste? The tadpole has absorbed it all. Its experience could nourish you, strengthen you.
So, do you have loves waiting for you once this is all over? Well, hello. What can I do for you?
tracks. Its nest must be nearby.
The dog lowers his hackles, his head tilted inquisitively. Convinced that you're harmless, he turns his attention back to the corpse. Around his neck is a collar etched with a name, Scratch. With a deep, heartbroken whine, the dog bows his head. The dog looks at his owner with sad eyes. He does not move. The dog whimpers nervously, as if to urge you on. The dog sniffs your hand, his tail swung low in understanding. He knows how to find you.
That might be worth a look.
Dead goblins. Dead travelers.
Were they heading to the Druid's Grove?
Vermin. On the rooftops.
About Baldur's Gate.
I don't care for fish. Red meat, now that's a different matter. Rare as can be. Dripping.
Well, unless we find a cure, you won't have any teeth to chew it with soon enough.
Well, some rest's better than none.
To do.
How about this? Over here.
Victory awaits. My path be true.
You look good with a few arrows sticking out of your guts!
Good move.
Best be on my way.
wondered what people will say when they find out the
You'll have to speak slowly. I'm finding it quite difficult to concentrate with my condition gnawing at my insides like a teething displacer kitten. That is most gratifying to hear. May I? Thank you. That hit the spot. I can feel it work. The magic, it's like a lullaby that sings to sleep the demon inside. A metaphorical demon, I haste to point out, but no less dangerous. And no less bound to wake up again to continue its ravages. Such is the nature of all monsters. Oh, it's not so bad once you get used to it. And, on the plus side, my tower in Waterdeep has never been so free of clutter. Sincerely, though, I understand I ask a lot from you with few answers in return. But in time, all will be told. My lady, I bow to your boundless kindness.
Traps. How considerate.
Weapon blueprints that use Sousa bark. Rare find. There's only one place I'm finding a Sousa tree. The Underdark.
Assume nothing.
Infernal metal! This can help dam and patch up my engine. Mine's never quiet. Have a lot on my mind. And, well, in it.
Tell me, Lae'zel, what is it like on the astral plane? Your home realm intrigues me.
Githyanki lay their eggs on other planes. They cannot mature in the astral. I will only be welcomed once I have chain of mind flayer's head.
No never flew so high. Scream all you like! Nobody's listening. How long do you think he can scream?
This will do nicely.
Swift and lethal. Taste my fury. Got to focus.
Heading there.
No holding back. Finding my way.
All right, Karlach. It's go time. Count on me.
Still breathing, despite everything. Light on my feet.
May the dice roll in my favor. Step to it.
Sounds like fun.
Stop this thing!
Shadowheart's attention is fixed on a damaged old statue.
We should keep moving. Nothing. The trick of the light. I saw something that reminded me of... Well, it's private. But then I felt something rise within me, like my blood was on fire. Then it passed. Let's just move along. Time's a rare currency for both of us.
With haste.
Come on, untie me!
I need a quick word.
Cut me loose! Ugh, Baga Kamara. Those pustulant thugs! Well, get on with it. I'm a deep gnome, you're a drow. You helped me, now you plan to enslave me.
What then? Torture? Blood sport? Or perhaps just a good old-fashioned walloping? My own fault, really. I should have dropped my pack and outrun those bastards. Alas. Take my pack, if you can find it. The only reason those goblins caught me was its weight. I'll travel lightly from now on. Ignorance is alive and well, it seems. Deep gnomes aren't restricted to the Underdark, you know. I've lived in Baldur's Gate for years. I'm in search of a friend. I fear he's in trouble. See this? I gave it to him years ago before I left home. I found it around the neck of a thug in the lower city. It was speckled with blood. My friend, nowhere to be found. But I still have hope. I have reason to believe he's in the Underdark. Hopefully, I'll pick up his trail from there. I always help my friends. On that note, I bid thee farewell. If we should meet again, well, we will have met again.